The latest flagships are all well and good, but sometimes it's interesting to see what you can get in a full-featured smartphone without breaking the bank, and that's exactly what we have here. This is our unboxing of the new Honor 6X. So here it is, Honor 6X, nothing too crazy going on in terms of the box itself. Standard matte blue affair, Honor 6X printed on the front. And you can see it's a dual SIM version in gold. Pop it open, and we've got the phone itself. So gold with all the usual Huawei and Honor branding on the back. We can peel this off. We have information here telling us all about the hybrid SIM slot, so you can have a SIM and an SD card or two SIMs. You can't have two SIMs and an SD card like you could with the Honor 5X, which is a bit disappointing, but then again, not something that we tend to do very often. Around the back, obviously a dual camera setup, 12 megapixels plus 2 megapixels, and the rear-mounted fingerprint scanner that we've seen on a lot of Huawei and Honor phones in the past. The basic build quality has taken a bit of a step up, I think, from the 5X. It doesn't have the glossy brushed finish, which I think is definitely an improvement. And just some of the joins between the plastic and metal sections have been improved a little bit as well. This feels a bit more solid in the hand, which is nice to see. Around the front, 5.5-inch 1080p screen. As before, you also have a factory-fitted screen protector around the front. Doesn't quite cover all the screen, which is a little bit disappointing. And to be honest, I'm probably going to take this off soon because it doesn't really have any kind of oleophobic fingerprint-resistant coating. So probably going to take that off soon. Let's power that phone on while we take a look at the rest of the stuff in the box. Not a whole lot to see here. There really isn't much going on. If this was a normal retail phone that we bought, there'd be some documentation back there, but there isn't. Just got a SIM tool and this cardboard insert, which we'll get rid of. Other than that, usual stuff. This is a micro SD cable, so charges through the old standard micro USB, not Type-C, which not unexpected in a phone at this price point, and your standard charging brick. So nothing too fancy going on the charger either. This is a normal 2 amp 5 volt charger, so no quick charging going on there, but just your standard 2 amps. Power it on, and we have EMUI 4.1 from Huawei here. Not the latest EMUI 5, which is a bit disappointing, but again, this is a budget phone, and all the usual information that you'd expect to see there. So it's based on Android 6.0 Marshmallow, not the newer Nougat release. But again, this is one of the many compromises you'd expect in a less expensive phone. And you would expect to be probably on this earlier software build for probably a few months before it gets upgraded to the latest and greatest version. On the inside, you're looking at Huawei's Kirin 955 chip, backed up by 3 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of storage, and of course the SD card slot as well. Camera, like I said, 12 megapixels plus 2 megapixels, so we're dealing with a dual sensor setup like we've seen in the Honor 8 and a bunch of other Huawei phones. In terms of battery life, you're looking at a 3340 milliamp hours, so a decent step up from what we saw last year in the 5X. And combined with that new and efficient CPU should be a decent improvement on a lot of the mid-range players out there. So a few compromises in there, but on the whole, a pretty solid device. Not a whole lot going on in the box, but you do at least get the phone, charger, and all the basics that you need to get up and running. That's it, Honor 6X successfully unboxed. This thing goes on sale January 4th for £229, $249 US, and 249 euros. Some interesting features in there, some compromises as well as you'd expect from the price point. Much more to say on this in our hands-on feature from CES, so take a look at that. In the meantime, I'm out of here. We'll see you next time.